Guten Tag und herzlich willkommen. Ich bin Herr McCluskey und heute sprechen wir über die Zeit. Wie viel Uhr ist es? Welcome. And today we're going to be talking about our topic of die Zeit, the time. And the question we're going to use to frame that is wie viel Uhr ist es? So that means what time is it? So today, what I want you to be able to walk away with after viewing this lesson, you want to be able to express the time in German. Now, I'm actually not going to be doing a whole lot in this video. I'm going to leave it to you to figure out how to tell time. And we're going to do that by looking at examples, and you are going to figure out how to tell time in German. So. Lass uns anfangen. Es ist 1 Uhr. 1 Uhr. Es ist 7 Uhr. Es ist 1 Uhr. Es ist 7 Uhr. Es ist 11 Uhr. Es ist 1 Uhr. 1 Uhr. Es ist 7 Uhr. 7. Es ist 11 Uhr. So, verstehst du? Do you understand? If you didn't pick it up, you'll notice that I used the sentence es ist, and you may remember that as just it is. Es ist blank Uhr. And what went in that blank? The number for the hour. So, if we look back at our one example, es ist 11 Uhr, you'll see that the same sentence, es ist, I look at the time, oh, it's 11 o'clock, es ist 11 Uhr. It's important to note at this point, if you're having trouble remembering the numbers, you may want to go and take a look at those and review those, because this isn't going to be all that helpful if you don't know the numbers. So go back, take a look at the numbers, and then revisit this. This will make a lot more sense if you are having trouble with the numbers. So again, es ist blank Uhr, and in that blank, we're going to put the number that goes there. Okay? So. Wie viel Uhr ist es? Es ist 9 Uhr. Wie viel Uhr ist es? Es ist 3 Uhr. Sehr gut. Gut gemacht. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what if I have a time that's like 10:15 or 12:45? Moment mal. So, es ist 1 Uhr 10. Es ist 1 Uhr 10. Es ist 7 Uhr 30. 7 Uhr 30. Es ist 1 Uhr 10. Es ist 7 Uhr 30. Es ist 11 Uhr 40. Do you think you have that one now? So, like before, if we want to say in the sentence es ist, it is. This time, though, we have 2 blanks in our time. So you already know what goes in the first blank, the number for the hour, which you figured out. So es ist, whatever the hour is, Uhr, and then in the second spot is how many minutes are in your time. So let's say that we have a time of 2:15. So es ist 2:15 Uhr. I'll go back to this last example here, and I want you to look at the digital clock. You can almost think of our time in German this way. So we have our hour, 11. Think of the two dots that separate the hour and the minute. Think of that as Uhr, and then our minutes. So 11:40 Uhr. So we can pretty much read the time across the clock if you think of these two dots as Uhr. Okay, so 11:40 Uhr. So again, you can put it in this full sentence, es ist. Okay, or if somebody asks, what time is it? Just like in English, you could say 3 o'clock without a sentence. So in that first blank, though, what's important, remember the number of the hour followed by Uhr, which literally means clock, and then the number of the minute. So, jetzt bist du dran. Now's your turn. Wie viel Uhr ist es? Es ist 9:20 Uhr. So remember, our hour, Uhr, then the minute. So 9:20 Uhr. Und noch ein. Wie viel Uhr ist es? Es ist 3:05 Uhr. So again, your hour, Uhr, and then the minute. So 3:05 Uhr. Now, you can explain the time in any way you choose, so the more straightforward way that we just learned. Or, just like in English, some people will use quarter before, quarter after, and you can do that in German too. Or you can do 5 after, or 10 till the next hour. So, well, I want you to look at this clock here. So you'll notice that I have nach on half the clock, and then vor on the other half of the clock. What do you think this means? So nach means after, okay? And vor means before. So like, almost like in English, it's before, for. And then nach is after. So in our example here, we could say 6:05 Uhr, or we could say 5 after 6. So in our example here, we have 5 nach 6. Okay, so 5 after 6, 5 nach 6. Either way is correct. One is not more correct than the other. It's just a matter of preference. And also, I want you to be able to understand, 5 after 6, 5 nach 6, if someone says that to you in German. So, another example, 6:10 Uhr, we could say, or 10 nach 6. Now, vor. This is something that can be a little tricky for us. Think, it's before. So let's say we have a time of 6:50 Uhr. So 6:50, 6:50 Uhr. We want to say it's 10 minutes before the next hour. So the hour after 6 o'clock is 7 o'clock. So 10 vor 7. So it's 10 before 7. What a lot of people will do is make the mistake of saying, oh, it's 6 o'clock hour, I'm going to use 6. No, remember, it's 10 before 7 is the next hour. Think about it this way if you're still having trouble. The clock is divided in half. And in math class, usually, if you're asked to round up, you start halfway through. So like 0.5, halfway through. If it's 6.5 and you're asked to round up, you're going to round up to, that's right, 7. So, another example, we could say 6:55 or 5 before 7, 5 vor 7. So, either way, you're fine. Both are correct. One is not more correct than the other, just so you can understand. And then you may also hear people say, oh, it's quarter after. So it's quarter the way through an hour. Or it's half past or quarter before. We have those things or similar things in German. So, wie viel Uhr ist es? So for 15, then we're going to say that's quarter after. So Viertel nach, quarter after. So in our example, 8:15, 8:15, we could say, or Viertel nach 8. Just like we did with nach on the last slide, we can do that here with Viertel nach, quarter after. Okay, so if it's quarter after 10, that would be 10:15, Viertel nach 10 as another example. Let's say it's quarter after 12, 12:15, 12:15, or Viertel nach 12. The next ones, again, are a little tricky, but if you just think about it, keep thinking about it, it'll make sense. So we look at our next one is for 30. And we can use the word halb. So we could say 1:30, 2:30, or we can use this word halb. But remember what I said before. We're halfway through an hour, we're going to round up. So it's thinking like a German person or someone who speaks German, we are halfway to the next hour. So in our example here, 9:30, we could say, just like we had learned at the beginning of this lesson, 9:30, or we could say 9:30, because halfway to the next hour, so it's 9:30, we are halfway to the 10 o'clock hour. So 9:30 is what we would say. If you wanted to use another example, let's say 5:30, 5:30. Remember, if we want to use halb, we are halfway to the hour after 5. So after 5 comes 6, 5:30. So that would be 5:30, halfway to 6, 5:30. Then same thing for 45. Viertel vor is a quarter before, right? So it's a quarter before the next hour. That one even is in there. So in our example, we have 11:45, 11:45, we could say, or Viertel vor 12, quarter before 12. Because it's a quarter before the next hour, so it's not 11, it's 12, Viertel vor 12. So if you said Viertel vor 11, that's not 11:45, that's actually 10:45. Now, you may have some questions. Es gibt vielleicht ein paar Fragen. If you do have any questions, reach out and let me know. Or watch the video again and try those examples in your own time until you do get it. So, das ist es. Vielen Dank für Ihre Aufmerksamkeit und auf Wiedersehen.